since it is the off season, I know that there is a lot of stuff going on in the off season. I say that more than anyone else probably, but as fans, sometimes even as a casual fan, more casual fan, there isn't nearly as much to think about. So, I got a question for y'all. And, it's kind of a longer question to ask. A year ago, Big Daddy Caesar made a video asking who are your two favorite players in the NFL, and it got a lot of responses. I thought that was pretty cool. So, I'm going to ask in a somewhat similar question, and you can respond in the comments down there. You can make a video response, whatever you want to do, but I would like to get as many responses as possible. And you can make this one part or two part or three part, because there are technically three different sub-questions here. So, what is your favorite NFL-related memory? And you can answer this question in three different ways. You can do it in, one play. What one play is in your memory as the best? Maybe if you're a Cowboys fan, it's the Larry Brown interception against the Steelers in the Super Bowl. If you're a Niners fan, maybe it's the catch or the catch two. Just one play. What is your best memory of football ever? Just one play. And then you have a sequence of plays, not a whole game, but just maybe a quarter, a half, where just everything was going your way. One player just completely destroying things over a particular period of time. And then there's also, what is your best memory of one whole game? What do you think was the best game you've ever seen logically it would be your franchise, but if you liked seeing another franchise beat another team, that's cool too. So, 3 questions: favorite sport, favorite football, favorite NFL memory, a play, a series of plays, and a game. And I guess if you want to stretch it out a little bit, you could do a season, you could do, an era, if you're into that. I personally aren't. I'm not, but whatever. It's you answering it, you can do whatever you want. Mine is, first one play. This one goes back a while. I was little. I don't remember the context of it. I was still just getting into football. It was in the mid to late 90s. Don't remember the year. I remember we were playing the Dallas Cowboys back when they had Troy Aikman. And this was back when we had a really good defensive line. We had Sam Adams and Michael Sinclair up front. And I think one other guy. Maybe Cortez Kennedy. We had a great defensive line. And what I think happened was, this was a long time ago. I don't know how good we were that season. I don't know how good the Cowboys were that season. I don't even know who won this game. But I think it was Aikman dropped back to pass from his own 20-yard line, and I'm pretty sure it was Sam Adams who got into the backfield and got his hands up, and Aikman tried to, throw it over him, but Adams tipped it up into the air, and he caught it on the rebound. And, of course, the only person who was close to him at that point was Aikman. And, Adams is a big guy. He was 350, 360. He's always been a big guy. And this was back when he was in his real prime. And, he just caught that ball and started, chugging almost in slow motion to the end zone. And Aikman grabbed onto, him, trying to tackle him. What else are you going to do? But Aikman being a smaller guy and Adams being a very much bigger guy, Adams pretty much just dragged Aikman into the end zone. And I say that play because I remember I didn't know a lot about football back then. I didn't even know how the scoring worked, probably. I didn't know how most of the game worked, but to me that was just really funny. Seeing, a small guy hanging onto the back of a big guy as he chugs into the end zone in slow motion for, the ever-rare defensive lineman scoring a touchdown on an interception. And I'm pretty sure we weren't very good that year. I'm pretty sure we didn't make the playoffs. I don't know what Dallas did that year. I don't even know who won that game. But that was I remember liking that play a lot, just because I thought it was funny as a kid. As for a sequence of plays, I'll go back to 2005. We went into the Link. We were on a hot winning streak right then. We had just clinched the division over the Rams, and there was snow in the Link. We were doing really well at that point. That was the year we went to the Super Bowl, of course. And that game was crazy. I mean, these plays weren't like right after each other, but they were pretty close. I remember first drive of the game, we eat 10 minutes off the clock, get a touchdown, really beautiful drive, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then Philly gets the ball, we return an interception for a touchdown, Andre Dyson. Next Philly drive, I think Lofa Tatupu picked one off and returned it to the house. A couple drives later, Michael Boulware picked it off, returned it to the 2, and we got a touchdown a play later. Let's see. I remember the first play of the second half. Brian Westbrook fumbled, got hurt for the year, and Andre Dyson picked it up for the touchdown. Our offense only had like 150 yards in that game because our defense scored 3 touchdowns and set up a 4th on the 2-yard line. And, usually we don't get to see our teams pull off things like that where we force a ton of plays on defense and just wipe a team out. We won that game 42-0. We scored all those points in the first 30 minutes and 15 seconds, something like that. Just a real good game. And, Philly was not a good team at that point. They were starting, I think, Coy Detmer and Mike McMahon at quarterback. I think Sheldon Brown and Arlito Shepard was out for the year. But it was a great game because we had all those defensive touchdowns. We made all those big plays. We shut them out. And my sequence of plays would have to be those turnovers we forced. The fumble, the interceptions. Good stuff. And as for a game, I gotta go with what I know, and this one's pretty easy for me. The 2005-2006 NFC Championship game against the Carolina Panthers. Just because, the media loves Carolina, and people were picking Carolina. People thought Carolina had this game. They had just won 2 road games in the postseason. We didn't look so good against Washington the previous week. People were picking Carolina. Even though they were coming into our stadium where we were 9-0, people thought Carolina had this game. And, it was just really a bloodbath on our part. I remember the first couple of drives, we had a touchdown. We got great pressure on Jake Delhomme, picked him off 3 times, forced a fumble at the end to seal it up. Offense could not be stopped through the ground or the air. Very few negative plays. The only really bad plays we had were we gave up a punt return touchdown. At the end when the game was over, we let up a long touchdown. Other than that, we played as close to a perfect game in a big game as I have seen from this team. And, and after that, you just knew we were going to the Super Bowl for the first time ever. So that has to be my favorite game memory. That's pretty easy for me to do. And so what's your guys's? Go ahead, just name them, make a video, make a comment. I don't care. Just have fun with this one, and see you guys later.